Hi everyone, welcome back to Reading with Gigi. Today I am going to read a book to you that I had to go to the library to get. I was running low on books, so I thought where better to go than the library. And I got my own library card. So coincidentally, the book that I am going to read to you today is called Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library. I can't wait to read it with you. Pete the Cat Checks Out the Library. Pete's mom is taking him to the library for the very first time. The librarian gives Pete his very own library card. Cool, says Pete. The librarian smiles and says, time for a tour. The librarian takes Pete through the whole library. There is a big desk where people wait to check out the books. Pete sees some of his friends reading at a long table. It's very peaceful, quiet, and relaxing. The librarian takes Pete to her favorite room. There are a lot of Pete-sized chairs and tables and shelves. There are books of every shape and size and color. What do I do now? Pete asks. Now you read a book, says the librarian. But which book should I read? Asked Pete. Well, you can read any book that you'd like, says the librarian. Pete looks around. There are so many books. Pete picks up a book all about airplanes and jets. He reads it and pretends he is a stunt pilot. He flies a super fast jet and does loop-the-loops and spirals high in the sky. Then Pete finds a book with dragons, wizards, and unicorns on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a powerful wizard using magic spells and special wand to defend his castle against a fire-breathing dragon. Whoa! Next, Pete opens a book about spiders and insects. He reads it and imagines that he is a scientist studying all types of critters in the wild. He has to be very still to study some critters and very fast to study others. Then Pete chooses a book with all sorts of scary monsters on the cover. It's a book of fairy tales. Pete reads it and pretends that it is dark and he's in a spooky forest trying to outsmart the big bad wolf. Pete puts the book back on the shelf. It's too scary. Pete opens a book about the pyramids in Egypt. He reads it and pretends that he is an explorer riding on a camel across the desert and climbing to the top of a giant pyramid. Next, Pete picks up a book with all sorts of robots on the cover. He reads it and imagines that he is a robot at a robot dance party. His arms and legs make whizzy sounds as he moves. When Pete, the robot, speaks, he says, bleep, bloop, bleep. Next, Pete picks up a book about superheroes. He reads it and makes believe he is a superhero. He flies around the city in a colorful cape, chasing bad guys and saving the day. Then Pete spots a big book about the ocean and all of its creatures. He reads it and he imagines that he is a scientist in a submarine deep in the Atlantic Ocean looking for whales, squids, and sharks. are so many wonderful books to read at the library. Pete can be whatever he imagines with a book. The end. That was a super fun book. And yes, that's one of the best things about reading, is using your imagination and pretending to be anything that you want. And if you're low on books, go to the library, get a card, and check out as many books as you can read. Get lost in the imagination. Thanks again for stopping by Reading with Gigi. Until next time, bye.